Well, it makes sense. I own a nut company, so it all kind of fits together.
That's right. He owns a nut company.
He's sponsoring himself.
Yes, thank you.
He's got nuts.
They taste great. They're available. Absolutely.
And bringing nuts to this evening's ceremony is Seth.
The nut man.
I like the t-shirt as well. Love is free.
Yes.
Happiness.
But nuts are not.
No, they cost
yeah.
a little bit of money, but they're worth it.
Yeah. Because your money doesn't buy happiness, but apparently you can rent it for an hour. So that's all right.
Well, hourly rent does work.
Yep, that's one of those jokes where I make the audience think like, "Oh, did he say that?" That's
yes.
I love those jokes where you say something and you know there's a double meaning. Where I mean this, but I know you're going to take it this way, and they think of it, and then they have a go at me. And it's like, well, you thought it. It's like saying the N word. It's like I've said the N word, but what did you just say in your head?
Yes.
Talking about the original job, right? That's the first job that there ever was. Run by the hour.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Labor. Move these rocks. Oh, you pay me.
Move these nuts. Oops.
So, what are some of the more dualistic lines we've all heard of? We're going to ask people that are in the chat room right now to think of exactly what Monty was just talking about. Something when you say it one way, it is interpreted another way. We're looking for people with smart, comical submissions. And as a quick note, Robert, you want put up some the stuff for people who are joining in Facebook or YouTube and want to come and be a part of the Zoomy room. So for anyone listening in any other state and wants to come to our Zoom room once Robert gets rid of his white box gremlin, there you go.
I'm having a crash and burn moment.
No, that's all right. It's like no, yes. Yeah, there we are.
It's the trauma from having internet that has pausia.
Well, I have a similar thing with Skype where I've invented the Skype gods, which is the goddess I never get it right, Connectividius, and she has twin sons, Downloadius and Updatius.
Very nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, and you have to sacrifice to make the thing work.
Well, the thing is, Robert has been traumatized by Colombian internet. Okay, traumatized. So if anybody doesn't know, Robert lives in Colombia with his wife and daughter, beautiful daughter Ermisa, and we had this joke: if there was a small rain across the valley, and it would rain on top of the internet company, and water would drip into the inside of the building, which would determine if you had internet to that day or not.
Oh my God! So 5G is probably not even in the cards then. At
right,
least.
he got fiber.
He's like 1G.
Yeah, basically, when you say fiber, it's a string, and so if Robert goes down, someone's standing on the string.
Well, the other day it was
fiber down here is a lot of rice.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, so I was talking with Robert. I'm like, my God, your video is so perfect, and your voice hasn't been interrupted 25 times.
Yeah, the sun's out. Yeah.
The sun's out, exactly. But he also lives in the mountains above Bogota too. So he's not at ocean levels. He's high in the mountains.
Mm.
Oh,
trying to connect that receptivity, that connectivity that's satellite.
Yes.
Satellite.
Robert is our remote high mountain emitter, getting our high frequency comedy out there.
Oh, it's going to get down in the 50s tonight, so don't expect the equatorial regions to be warm.
Well, the colder the air, the better you are as an electrical spark.
Mm.
That's it. Talking about comedy, just look at the weather. Isn't it hilarious? Like, the past at the last weekend, so about 4 or 5 days ago, Melbourne, it had 20 degrees Celsius. I can't convert into Fahrenheit, so do that yourselves. Or learn the metric system, putting it out there. It was 20 degrees Celsius, and in less than 24 hours, it got down to 8. It's ping-ponging like that. But that's sort of spring and autumn where it's that changeover.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a world right now.
Yeah, well, Melbourne's always known for its weather, where 4 seasons in one day, but now we've sort of gone down to 1 season per day, but the seasons change every day. Where
that sounds like everybody's local town weather.
Yeah. Well, yeah, in the morning it was 20 and sunny, and so I could wear shorts. So I know summer's coming because I can wear shorts. All right. And then it got to the afternoon, it was overcast and it dropped 6 degrees. And I'm like, oh, geez, it's cold again.
Yes. So I forgot where I was going with this. I was saying, Robert, I can watch you with the image spot free. And it's the last couple broadcasts now that I've been watching, I'm like, I realized how much how much we have to use the internet and how much until we finally got fiber. It's just innately you just let go with it. Have you guys noticed that? Yeah, I don't know. He had already had fiber when you came around, Seth.
You guys use a lot of internet. That's the thing. Like I've realized that like people don't realize how intricate these systems are that you're doing all this with. Like lots of different, platforms, connections. Like I'm amazed that you guys are able to pull it off with the limited internet that he has.
I like the idea of there's that idea there's going to be 3 days of darkness, which just means someone's turned off the internet and the whole planet freaks out.
Yeah,
because everyone's addicted to phones, and it's like, I don't get reception, my life's over. It's been 3 minutes, Timmy. Stop.
So why don't they just retitle it 3 years of no service?
And I've got a recurring joke that the date changes, but 2020 and nothing works, because it's like it's that classic, the bad side of marketing. This is a perfect product and it sells brilliantly and there's no complaints. Awesome, let's change it. No. Like I think Windows 8 is a perfect example. Like Windows 7's, hey, 97, hey, this works. Windows 8, they've changed 95% of it, no one likes it. Oh, I wonder what happened.
So this whole shitstorm we've been living in, it's reaching a point where so many people flip out over stuff like the way you were describing 2020 and nothing works. Mm-hmm. One could say the same thing about 2001 and nothing works.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's
a never-ending joke.
Year.
Right? Yeah. 2001, everyone was at the tip of the internet bubble that hadn't been popped yet, hadn't been fully popped yet. Okay. And all those people that thought they come up with game-changing things, game-changing in 2017.
Excuse me.
So Seth, you have a pretty interesting technical background with the internet, right?
Not necessarily. It's one of those things that I intuitively just figured out and knew how to do. And so when new things would come up, it was like easy for me to figure it out. And I'm like, is that just my own innate natural ability, or is freaking AI fucking with my head and getting me to do it? So I've always tried to be aware of like, am I naturally good at it, or something making me?
What if it was your own positive AI you had contracted in outside time and space to work shit for you?
See, what a great concept. I'd love to explore the possibility of that, because that could mean all kinds of great things.
Well, you have one. You have one that is there that has the comedy gene for you. All we want you to do is to use your technique and integrate sacred comedy light.
And remember, Seth, when Andrew says something like that, remember who you're talking to. It's when Andrew says it's like, he's saying you have. It's like you have a higher self telling you what to do. It's like, no, I'll translate that. I do have a higher self.
Look, I told him, I'm like, I don't care. Just bring it on. He's like, I'm like, be as honest as you want with me. He's like, be careful. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, say it, bring it on. Like, I'm here to do this work.
You'll get past that in about a couple of months. I'm at the point now where like I think of a question, and I usually when Andrew brings me on at the end of the Thursday show to transmute the energy and bring it up, like I try and think of a question that everyone would like to know. And other times where I think of questions for personally, I instantly get the thing of like, oh no, I don't want the, I don't, and A, Andrew won't answer it, or B, I won't like the answer. So I'll just put that on the shelf of, I'll figure that out later myself. Because like, oh, what about this? Blah, 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 blah. Oh, why did I ask that question?
And in yesterday's show, somebody was pointing out some of my eyebrow movements I do when I'm noticing a person that's about to get roasted.
I remember the meme that Robert did where I think you shaved that day, and if you can remember which one it is, where that face you look when someone raises that, I can't remember what you said, Robert. It was a perfect meme because you had that what the fuck view sort of facial expression, like what?
Ooh,
exactly. The love of the game, the journey to being a content creator. Let's put the screen back a second. A content creator is we do things like this. There comes a point where the content will only feed people who want that. And that is its own limitation. And then you create content that will fit this. These comedy shows are another way for people to learn also. And we're taking a pause here just to let everyone know we want you to come in, have fun, be a part of the chat room. We are going to take questions and call-ins from people that are here. We know this is your Friday night, and we want to give you 2 hours of solid fun. So we want to give you an option right now to tell us what you want us to talk about, guys. We're going to be looking for the good one
here and there, and I'll be yelling at her. So I'm
we'll be the pit part of Scuffy's, and we're going to translate what is Scuffy actually telling Monty.
Scuffy,
S-O. What's Scuffy trying to tell Monty meow?
Yes. Well, you know what, Monty, in response to what you said, a lot of people don't really understand comedy because they're so tense. They're just stuck in it. But the more you relax, the more things just seem naturally funny. The more it's just there. So I think that's a lot of it.
And there's freedom in it, and there's also there's negative comedy where all the racist comedians from the 50s, 60s, and 70s where they're attacking. I'll just use an example, and it's still the joke still works technically because in a way you're attacking the same people over and over again.
Hey, Robert, can you go into the chat room and kick some people out there?
Do we get some fun?
We got idiot trolls again. Oh boy.
Oh man.
Yeah, attacking a comedy show, not wise. Because it's not as serious as like I'm trying to help you move through your release of trauma.
I need a name.
So keep looking, and have somebody from the chat room that's regularly there. If you could message Robert some of the names.
Yeah, so it's all part of our comedy show that we didn't plan, but it's like instead of actually moving on with your lives, let's go onto a live stream, a comedy show, and try and take down the man.
Oh my God.
So these trolls, they come and go as it gets closer to Halloween. The trolls get a little stronger because people keep feeding them. Now, I think it's just time for us to just shit on their parade.
Yeah, because like from free will, it's like, why are they defending us? If that makes sense.
It's a great line, actually.
They're attacking like, oh, you like this person and you're wrong. Well, go deal with your own crap.
Yeah.
Imagine everybody's got such creative energy, and to try to bring it into this, to attack this, to be a troll to a comedy show. Oh,
yeah, especially it's like, yep. Well, what? It's fun time. So what's the great? You get most flack over target. So yeah.
What happens, Andrew? They just come into the chat room and just try to mess with things and just.
They start with racist comments about people in here. They start off trying to act like they're a friend, and you can see it right away in the types of the typing. And this one's some type of gang stalking group because they brought a bunch of people in. So this is what they do for fun at home.
My God. See, this is a result of all those teens that have been taught how to play video games above and beyond anything else. They just do this shit.
Keyboard warrior.
Robert, are you seeing all that racist stuff going on in there?
I saw some stuff. I thought I got them.
No, there's still more in there.
No.
Ben Dover, you can boot
Mike
him.
bend over.
Yeah.
Oh, see that's comedy gold. I know what you did there.
Yeah. How'd you get that name?
No, I'm actually Caucasian. So, well, that's the interesting thing. Like, you're a star seed. No, you've been on the planet for millions of years. You're an earther. I'm not an earthy.
Earth seed. Yes.
This is their third show, so they're all over there, probably living in their mom's basement somewhere, having no job. Probably plays a lot of World of Warcraft. This is what they do for fun. Okay?
Yeah.
And this particular group they figured out some of the exploits that naturally come with coming into a group. We have an open group. Anyone can come in here. Our maximum number is 500. So it's not like they're actually exploiting them. It's an open code. We offer that freely. Okay. And that they've picked us, 3 times in the last 5 weeks. We must have turned something over inside of them. They must need help.
Yes. You know what? That stick is being removed from the anal sphincter.
All it is, I just realized
think they like riding the stick.
In a comedic world, they're just hecklers. And the thing is, because there's chat, you find it interesting where a negative statement goes in, and half the chat room goes, "Well, no, hang on, hey," and it's quite interesting. Whereas, like, we don't really have to deal with it because the chat room's on it. It's like they're trying to break up the energy, and it's like, well, we know what you are, because it's like, are you in the right stream? Yeah.
My God, I know I can see him in there. Well, there must be people that in there that we can bring through.
No, these are all people that I have no idea who they are.
Wow.
Something has caught them. Some web post somewhere that they put together or whatever. This is a gang stalking group.
Fuck.
But the man with
trolling.
Yeah. But the man with the lizard, he's fine. He's just showing off his pet. That's Steve Zaralath. I talked to he comes into my round table, so he's showing off his bearded dragon, and there's no comic thing at all. That's actually that's the name of the lizard, from my understanding. It's not a euphemism for anything else.
Yeah, I see all those comments coming in. Damn.
Robert, you seeing that stuff in there?
Oh yeah, I'm having fun here.
This
is like playing whack-a-mole.
That's what it is. It's video game troll duty.
All right, now I'm getting the porn in those little images at the top. Caleb Collins, boot him.
Oh my God.
Wow, we got hammered.
Yeah, see, this attempt now tells that it's a stage 2 attack, which means they're trying to get us to get some kind of video ban or strike.
Wow.
Okay.
Thank you to everyone for helping out here.
Yes. What do you say?
You laugh. You gotta laugh. That's what
you laugh at it. I mean, I gotta go. Back in the day, we got assaulted at the bus stop and shit, but Jesus Christ, we're doing a fucking comedy show.
Exactly. Well, you know what? There must be something. The weather, like bridges, are just not comfortable anymore where trolls are. They're coming out of the bridge. So
I just think their ignorant genes are activated, and they have to go out and do ignorant stuff, and then they come back to their ignorant bodies and lead ignorant lives.
What a
does that hurt?
What an incredible use of this miraculous energy that's letting us be here.
Well, someone learned to cut and paste. Well, so there we go. Anyway, why did the chicken cross the road? Free will.
Free will to ignore the troll on the other side.
Yeah.
So here we go, deep into the land of hecklination.
I like that word, hecklination.
Hecklination. We're coining a new term here.
So I feel better about myself because obviously we're doing quite well because we're just trying to make people laugh and people are upset about that.
Robert, how many have you kicked so far?
So far, it's at least 7.
Oh, there's probably at least 12 more. They would just stop. It's just stopped.
Yeah, I got the room locked right now.
Okay. Yeah, there's probably still several in there. They came in with 2 devices each.
Funny.
See? Exactly. Okay. This is some CSGO team from some fucked up place doing this shit.
Yes, they're trying to save humanity by saying, librarian man bad.
It just goes to show, like, the time of the world right now, how triggered people are by comedy. We're here trying to make people laugh, to have fun, to just like enjoy, but that's a problem. It's politically incorrect to be funny right now. That's what it feels like.
Oh yeah, comedy's taking a massive hit because if you say the wrong thing back in 2010, the cancel culture will kick in. It's like, it's a joke. It's not, we don't believe, the comedians don't believe what it's real. It's there to get a laugh. And it's kind of one of the last places that you can sort of dance around subjects that are very uncomfortable, and it's through humor. And that's why you see the popular comedy now is not funny, because it's always safe and boring.
Yep.
You guys, I had a friend named Von Meter. He was a Kennedy impressionist in the early 60s. He released an album called The First Family. And I think in 1963, it sold 7.5 million albums. Okay, it had Kennedy's voice, sounded exactly like him. But there's such a natural ability to convey that degree of comedy that even though it's mainstream and it's like very conservative, it's still so funny because that comedic genius was just there and he was able to present it. My point being, everybody has that in them. Everybody has some kind of thing in them they can tap into and bring out these greater gifts or whatever. And
they're choosing to not use it.
Choosing to not do it.
This brand of useless ignorance, they take pleasure out of this. They get heavy dopamine releases. So you got to understand what type of subset of psychopath they are.
Well, yeah, like most of society, the way we're taught, 28-year-olds still think they're in high school. And you can tell that these people seem to be stuck in freshman year, where they've just got into high school, where they get a dopamine hit because they're making one for the team, and it's in the big scheme of things they're pointless because it's swatting flies. Like, really?
Mm-hmm. Somebody wrote addiction to attention. Yes, that's so true. Look, I spent 3 years in prison, and I literally watched men in their 60s and 70s act like high school kids. And it's like, you're like, am I really seeing this? It's surreal, kind of, because you're just like, how did you?
Because they revert back to that old form. That's the only safety form that they had before they went to prison or whatever was harmed in them.
Jeez.
And the way that the education system works, it's formulating a social, not stigma, but just a social interaction rules.
Social dynamic, and, you're right. Yes.
Yeah. And then people come out of school, and that's all they really know, because they've been stuck in school for 8 hours, 5 days a week, and the parents are stuck in work mode. And it's interesting when people hit 29, the Saturn return, they go, people split, where it's like, oh, I'll become, well, it's not an adult. It's a traditional thing of evolving and becoming more mature instead of being a dick. And then other people continue being a dick.
It's straight up addiction to ego. It's addiction to personality to the degree that it becomes like forceful or psychopathic, or
yeah. It's an element of that where I don't like you, so I'm just going to pick on you until I like the idea that Bashar, not the leader of Syria, is a reflection. It's not a reflection of us because it's like, well, in a way, it is a reflection. It's like the universe is going to show that we're doing something right because we're going to let these 7 morons come on, and we've triggered something in them because we exist. That's one interesting test that I've had. It's like, why do people hate me? Because I just exist. I don't know these people. They're angry at me, and all I said was, vote banana, and then they all freak out. That was an interesting spiritual moment where it's like, I'm not liked because I exist, and then it's the whole reflection. They see something in me that they're upset with, or the element of jealousy or whatever it is, which is quite funny as well. Like, oh, you're like really happy and carefree, and you don't have problems, and I do. So clearly I have to hate you now because I don't want to deal with my shit, so I'm just going to give you shit. Thanks for that.
And that is a whole culture of people out there like that.
Yeah. So, and now the global narrative's picked up on that really because you got polarization so much now. Where I think there's 3: there's left, right, and far left. Because the far right people are like, everyone knows, no, you've got bad ideas, you're silly. All 4 of you sit down. And then you got the far left where apparently everyone that disagrees with them is a white supremacist. It's that gaslighting where there's the system, there's racism in the system. It's like, well, no, the race is human because the system hates all y'all.
Exactly, it's an equal opportunity.
It doesn't necessarily hate you. Okay.
Yeah, it likes you that you're there.
It likes that you're there because it wouldn't have much to do if you weren't there.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah. Well, people
beat up in its own infrastructure.
The system doesn't work. Yeah, it does. We just don't know what it's doing.
Exactly.
Like that scorched earth thing of like, if I can't have it, no one have it. The narrative we're a farm, prison planet, free range humans. And they feed off us, be it money or energy. Why would you kill the herd? Especially if you're quarantined on the planet. That just makes sense. It's like, we can't leave the planet, so let's kill everybody, our food source. And wait a minute, I think there's a flaw in our plan. What are you going to do? Because you can't sort of wipe it, stay clean, and start again. People will notice, especially the rest of the galaxy is like, you're doing that again, are you? Okay.
Today, not tomorrow, not yesterday. Today, the system sent us trolls. And as I've been observing this energetic shit stain of a moment, I laugh because of all the other times it sent the trolls.
I don't have a sound effect for that, by the way.
So we're going to ask people out there to reach into their genius and come up with some troll be gone quotes, nauseous sprays, to remember everyone to not feed the troll gods. Block is banned. Ban is block is good. I think Sean Bibby put it in there. Okay? Block, 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 block. Block, block, block.
Maybe I should do some throat singing to clear it out.
Nah, we do it by turning on our joy, happiness, and turning on the comedy. That's what we do. We out-create this shit.
Yeah.
I find it funny because we're now getting close to this election that's coming up. 7 weeks away. 6 weeks away.
Finally. I just want the election to happen. I don't care what happens afterwards because I'm going, it's a divine thing. Let's move on.
It's like you've been pregnant with Trump for 4 years.
Yeah.
And you just want to give birth to him. Get out of me.
And that's the other thing when people complain about on Trump, the vicious, vile hate where, he said something from anonymous sources and there's no one to back him up. Sure, Trump's not the savior and Jesus, but you can't just say anything and go, oh, that's real. Like the mainstream media is still going, oh, Russia, It sounds like Jan from the Brady Bunch. Russia, Russia, Russia. It's so ridiculous. And I when I see all that type of stuff, I'm like, oh, you're gonna have a bad time when he gets back in.
You know what it is? It's like telephone game in school where somebody says something to somebody else and it gets distorted immediately after the first person tries to recite that. It's happening on like a massive level. It's full-blown telephone game.
It's very, from a comic point of view, it's very hard to find parody and satire at the moment because some people actually mean what they're saying. It's like, really? Yeah. How many times have you seen, is this a parody account?
Oh no.
Where, camping is racist.
Oh my God.
What? Like, are you saying the native nation, the First Nations of America are racist because they've lived in teepees for thousands of years? And like, there's so many things that everything's racist. We're white, Seth, so therefore we have to apologize that we colonized the planet and had slaves. I'm just happy a cat has agreed to hang out with me. I don't see how I could have slaves.
So how do we define? Oh, I'm totally having a brain fart right now. Oh, that was a good one. Damn it! Damn it! I need Troll be gone.
Yeah, I have that effect on people. I've got an idea, and I had an idea.
Yeah, my brain fart smell like garlic.
He's Greek, you know.
Burn all those parasites. That's important.
Oh, it was a good one too. Damn it.
Actually, is it Kevin Andrews? He was in The King of New York. The Kevin James. He actually he's made a small 4-minute short film, and it's called "What Was I Going to Say?" And he did exactly the same thing. Like he was going to say something at a meeting, and he completely forgets it. And then the next 3 minutes is him just agonizing over trying to remember. His wife leaves him. He ends up in a hotel room. He engages with a prostitute, but she just has to sit on the bed while he explains what he was trying to do. She leaves, and then he's sitting somewhere near the docks and remembers, calls his boss at home, and the boss is like, yeah, okay, well, yeah, I'll see you on Monday. And it's like, and it's like a lot of times happen on the round tables, like, yeah, I've got an idea, I'll get in there, and then yeah, back to you.
Craziness. So guys, who shall we pick in the government to make fun of?
The IRS.
God, there's so many good candidates, right?
And they're all. It's a one-party system.
Exactly.
How about we look at the Drug Administration that's about to approve a vaccine no one wants?
What's the survival rate from the Rona? 99.9%. And yeah, it's nothing sus. Because the FDA has always been honorable and done the right thing. Apart from aspartame, that comes to mind. Yeah.
Well, as of Trump's first year in office, bills were put and that were approved by both parties that makes all the pharmacological companies immune from prosecution in any way, shape, or form. Total 100% immunity to any vaccine developed during outbreaks. Rapidly
that doesn't sound right, because there's a history of damage, because we're all unique, and
they're going to force us to take a vaccine from somebody we would never ever buy a product from.
Well, here's something very amusing. Our Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, has announced that he's made a deal with a pharmaceutical company and they've ordered 86 million vaccines. The strange thing is the company said, no, he hasn't. Which is like, okay. And the other thing is that there's only 25 million Australians. So why are they buying 86 million? It's like, are we going to have monthly injections because the virus keeps mutating?
Or,
Yeah.
or are they all just injecting you with a pile of $90 garbage?
Well, there's that too. Actually, yeah, the interesting thing is the Catholic Church in Australia, because they're using cells from an aborted fetus, they're going to refuse the vaccine on moral grounds. And it's very rare. I agree with the church. I'm like, I like that, because it's like using using it
to advantage. Exactly.
Yeah,
what? We forget though, like in our little circles and everything, everyone's like, hell no. But I'm talking to friends of mine who I know that are nearby that I love dearly, but aren't even aware of any of this stuff. And they're like, my God, I wish they would just hurry up and get these vaccines out. And I'm like, whoa, really? Like, that's what you think? They're like, yeah, bring it on. We need this vaccine. So people are lining up. They're like begging for it to come out. And I'm like, yeah, God, this is the world we're in.
Oh, but you've had 8 or 9 months of lockdown. And so people are sort of forced. That's a way out of what we're stuck in. And so the false reality that's been put forward is like, people are getting sick, so we'll put for a vaccine and everything will be better and go back to normal. But that's not actually what's happening, because it seems to be, apparently, I haven't checked it, but someone shared that the CDC has changed it from pandemic to outbreak. They've downgraded it. But of course, no one in the media is going to bring that up, because it just shows how Operation Fool the Public has gone completely wrong. And that's why I asked this question. This is what I talk about. I was talking about before, asking Andrew a question. So is this the last push for the New World Order? Oh no, they've got 20 other things. Damn it, Bartzis, Jesus. But it's there's a lot of people waking up to just seeing how, well, this is not right. This is not right. Like how other people have taken 10 years by doing research and investigating and just saying, well, hang on. This is a major push where a lot of people have put 2 and 2 together, and there's an element of they're waking up that they're asleep, and they're just waking up to the 3D level, not the living the mystical life daily level, which is like, it's gonna be fun. That's why we're here for the long game. It's like, yeah, we'll be here after you do that and freak out.
You know what it is though? This idea of it being mandated might not become a reality, because so many people want it. They'll be like, hey, they're just lining up for it. We don't even need to mandate it. So it's like,
Andrew's actually has. I should let Andrew speak, but Andrew said
why would you do that?
would. I mean, it's his show. No,
it's actually it's our show.
He needs a break.
Oh yeah, aha! Pulled you in there, my friend, and it's on tape. No. The grand awakening will be Karens and masks. I'm like, well, the Prime Creator has a very good sense of humor. So
I have been saying for a long time, it'll come down to the Karens and Kens and Chads that change the world. They piss everyone off just enough to do something about the Karens, the Kens, and the Chads.
So while we're on our intergalactic tour of helping out people of how did you free humanity and save the Earth? Masks.
Yes,
that was it.
All shapes and sizes, and none of them medically worked. They did nothing but deserve to disconnect you from the facial recognitions of somebody else, so we can prepare you for ugly-looking off-world humans.
Yeah, it's interesting when you find an anti-masker who's also anti-facial recognition. You do know by wearing a mask that system doesn't work.
Yes. Holy shit.
I want to be free. And I've on one of my roundtables, a gentleman, they die on that hill, which I love that term, where it's like, no, you don't wear a mask, there's something wrong with you. You live in America, you have free will. Like, isn't that the idea of America, where if you freely want to wear a mask, like before all this whole thing, say last year, those heady days of February, here in Melbourne, there's a large Asian community, because what's the closest continent to Australia? The racist Australia, it's full of Asians. Yeah, no, they're only 80 miles away. that people wear masks and just from pollution and everything else like that. No one got picked on at all. But then all of a sudden it's been pushed in the forefront and like, oh, we have to wear masks. I mean, they don't work. You can wear clothes. It's all about suppression and trying to do, everything
the worst
apart
things,
from
really, in many ways. It's about all the things that keep us separated, that keep us in a state of disbelief. It's silliness. It's so silly, and it's like, come on.
Yeah, like it's the here, not here, but in South Australia, they're going to ban single-use straws. Well, I like the idea, but why don't you just make them out of something else?
Have you ever used a single-use straw?
Yeah, all the time.
How often do you get a single use out of them?
Well, in nightclubs, a lot, because you can put them back. But I do remember, because remember the McDonald's ones? I'm not sure if it were anywhere else, but the McDonald's ones you could build a bridge out of. They were so thick. It's like, oh, keep these. These are good straws.
Because that was recycled toilet paper.
Oh, well, there you go. Oh, it did taste like shit. But yeah, instead of petrochemical, you can make them out of something else. Like California did the same thing. We're getting rid of single-use straws, and we're going to release paper straws in a plastic packaging.
Yeah.
Well done.
Obviously, I am pro paper, and yes, we need to get plastic out of our environment, especially plastic straws, which are dangerous to all sorts of wildlife.
Yeah.
But right now, our world is run by some corrupt ass lizard worshipping motherfuckers.
Yeah.
All right. What are we going to look at first?
Yes.
Papers and straws, napkins.
That's it. Everybody's focused on all these.
What's the order of importance here?
There's depleted uranium in Iraq, but we're going with straws first, all right?
Yeah.
Let's take care of the straws and plastic bags issues first.
Oh, okay. Let's tackle this issue. Why don't we use hemp or bamboo? So we're just going to ban straws. Wait. I've got an idea. No, you don't. Shut up. Go back to sleep. Which is weird. Like I used the example. I think it was the Helsinki Olympics in 1976. Someone actually found a Yoplait ad tub, plastic, and it had the Olympic rings on it, and it was like nearly 40 years old, and that's petrochemical plastics. On the flip side, if it's made out of hemp and it's in the sun for 90 days, it's biodegradable and gone back again.
Well, that would never hold up in shelves, so they could have 40-year-old freaking frosting, right?
Well, it could be 4 months then. You can adapt.
I know, but the whole point of creating disposable plastic cups is they could do it and prove to everyone they could. That was a big deal for them, to going to unusable cups. Do you know what your cups were usually made out if you didn't have money for glass? Wood. Do you think those things ever got cleaned? No. You didn't have hot water.
Yeah.
You didn't have refrigeration.
Well, when did the modern thing? That was the 50s when all the modern stuff came in, like refrigeration.
30s, usually the 30s is when many homes began to get a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and then that little spat in the Pacific. I mean, World War II happened. So I like to, just downplay. Like, what was the result of World War I, World War II? So it was interesting, just as in the 30s, that all this sort of ideas and technology was coming in or released to humanity. Then they had a global war, which just gave everyone trauma, because being in the West, we were told that World War II started in 39. But if you look at it, China, or the Japanese invaded China in 36 or something like that. And so
I think 34.
Yeah, so even worse. So it was nearly a decade of trauma. And that's why, like in America, at least from an outsider's point of view, the 50s was really repressed, because it's like, no, everything's fine, and we're staying like this, and we're rigid, right. And
it's high PTSD and make the wife the king of the kitchen.
Yeah,
that's what the 40s and the 50s were about.
Yeah, and it wasn't to suppress women. I think
Right.
the idea was to have everyone on the same page so we don't have outliers, because that's sort of happened for the last 40 years of the 20th century. They were afraid of anything. And I'm not saying women would turn into Hitler, because, well, that would be funny, where housewives of America rise up. But then you had the 60s, which was a reflection of the 50s, and you sort of their attempt to Summer of Love, and that ended badly.
Well, because the repressed were being repressed by
Yeah.
the repressed and the depressed and those that were still suffering the scars of war and had no help. They still called it shell shock.
Yeah. And if you go back 50 years, it was called cowardice. It's interesting
Cowardice.
how you
Okay?
coward. Yeah, I want you to run towards the machine gun. I don't want to, you coward. Why don't you do it? No, I've got a stick. You have to go there. You have to do it yourself.
Robert, can you pull up on Google the most amount of people were in World War II?
How many got?
What's the number? I think it's like 9 million.
I think 50 million people died during that conflict. I'm going to say allegedly, because I'm from conspiracy world, and it's sometimes you can't bring up stuff because you can't question certain things, if you know what I mean.
Well, I see so far just 85 million people perished.
Yeah, like 20 million Russians at least.
75 million participated.
Oh.
So I think America had around its max at about 9 million deployed. We got to realize before World War II, there were less than 100,000 soldiers, sailors, servicemen, and everything. Less than 100,000. Okay.
Well, which countries, they still had World War I technology? They were still having biplanes and
right.
The
America didn't get out of the biplane and fabric era until the late 20s, and when it started investing in allowing women to actually fly, and then they had actual big marketing campaigns where women were flying around the country.
Yeah, if you want to have a look at how technology advanced in the 20th century, just look at man-made flight, where it was when did the Wright brothers? I know there was someone in New Zealand as well, but it was 1909 or something like that, or 11, or from when that actually happened, when they lifted off for a certain amount, like Kitty Hawk, wherever it was, to where allegedly we landed on the moon. I hate being from the conspiracy world because I have to say allegedly with history, but that was a short amount of time. It was like 50 years. It's just. And you can, if you follow aviation through history, you can just see advances so quickly. I mean, it's all based on war. Yay us!
Yes,
but
that's the great measuring stick of how many humans we got to kill off.
Yeah, exactly. I've got an idea for a plane. Can it carry a bomb? What's wrong with you, Dave? Everything. It's always about weaponry with you.
Isn't it crazy? All that, like the build up into that whole thing, this just atrocity, millions and millions and millions of people. And then now we've got internet trolls.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
and we had to pull the nuclear room option, lock room. Next. Next.
Well, people have been putting up memes around the D-Day invasion of Europe, where the original Antifa. I'm like, no, like they were fighting against Germany and fascism, yes, but to equate it, some cockhead in Portland with green hair throwing a Molotov cocktail at a courthouse, it's not the fucking same.
Well, it may not be the same, but a lot of it's being paid for by somebody.
Well, yeah,
that's not self-organization. Okay.
Well, can I share something? It's something I've learned, my experience on the planet. Do you know how you win a war?
How?
You fund both sides.
That's sounds soon. Yeah. Art of beat them all the time.
Yeah. I don't care who wins as long as they pay the debts.
Exactly. Someone will always pay the debt.
And I do find that amusing on this planet. You can get away with anything criminally. You murder, you get 25 years. So that's only a quarter of your life. You take a life, you quarter of a life. If you kill multiple people, you're a serial killer, and there's an element of fame. You kill a million people, because genocide, and you're revered through history, and all that type of thing. But you have to pay the debt. Everything. The only crime you cannot get away with is paying the debt. And I find that highly it exposes the system in a certain way. Instead of like, we've got the principal back of the debt, including inflation. I've gone blank. You're bankrupt. You can't do any more. So we'll forgive those debts
if you go to war.
Yeah,
and you accept high interest and expanded inflation rates after that. Our bribe fee will be lowered, will be increased manyfold.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, we're not going to fund your money with gold anymore. We're going to use this thing called fiat.
Yeah.
Learn how to sell that to them.
Yeah, and that's not the car either. It's not the car.
Exactly. It's not the car. It's fiat money. Imagine being in the early 1900s thinking that shit up.
Yeah, well, especially when I saw a photo in Japan. In 1902 or around then, they had electric cars already.
New York City had electric cars too, and Tesla had developed a variety of electric cars on the battery powers of that particular day that could get 6 hours of running, and then charge overnight and get another 6 hours of running.
I heard a story about Tesla, and I don't care if it's not true. I like the story. He was fiddling around with a Model T Ford, and he got told off he was in upstate New York near his tower or something like that. But he tweaked a car, and he was told to stop driving around because he was doing like 100 miles an hour around the paddocks and the back streets of the area. It's like, can you stop? That's very dangerous. And that just makes me...
they had never seen anything go over the top speed of a horse, which at its peak brake is 38 miles an hour, not much more.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just saw Steven Crowder. He wasn't a fan of Tesla, and recently he test drove one, and the car was full. There was 4 people in it, and it's got ludicrous speed. If you remember Spaceballs, where it can get up to 80 miles an hour in about 3 seconds, and you can see, they're just driving, and then they push a button, and everyone in the car is pushed into the like, holy crap,
shit mode. Exactly.
Which is quite funny. So, I like Tesla, the man.
I know it's funny we're talking about dual meanings. I'm seeing how it's going in and out of Tesla the man and Tesla the car. And it's
somebody will do it. Somebody will make a dank meme on it.
Oh man, look at that. Yes.
That movie was such a fucking game changer when it came out. Absolute game changer.
Yep, I've got the 25-year anniversary Blu-ray of it, and it's still classic today. And Rick Moranis, brilliant comedian. He hasn't done any work for 26 years because, unfortunately, his wife passed, and he gave up the Hollywood lifestyle to raise his kids. And he recently just done an ad with Ryan Reynolds for Mint phones or whatever it was. And it's like, why am I here? Because I like you. All right, see ya. But he actually chose to raise his kids.
Raise his kids, yeah.
For the love of his wife.
See,
and yeah,
this is a Mandela effect for me. Ooh. I remember being in an airport, stuck between Montreal and Toronto. For some reason, we stopped in Montreal, and our plane had a stop. And I read in one of their magazines he died from like Parkinson's, like a neurological disorder. So as you're saying, Rick Moranis, I'm having this moment of like being in the airport at Montreal going, he died? Oh my God.
Yeah, but is that a rumor though? Because he didn't announce he just stopped working. So it could have been. I'm not saying it's not a Mandela effect, but because he just disappeared. And back then, you know how people were like, "Oh, you know,
this was about the time he did the Sasquatch movie."
Oh, okay.
So this was years and years ago. So it must have been in the early 2000s, 2004, 2005.
Mm.
And again, I was having this moment inside my brain, like, isn't he dead? You know, like when you talk about people you haven't heard about a long time, isn't he dead? And then instantly that memory of me going, I'm like, yeah, I remember reading he was dead.
But there is a couple of people where they announced they died, and people went, didn't they die already? Where it's the only Mandela effect that I can remember off the top of my head is like there's 6 village people. I thought there was only 5. I don't know if I misremembered because there's 6. I thought there was only 5 of them, but there's 6. I don't know. Maybe I've been on the graduation timeline all my life.
So the other one had very similar to is the name of the girl in the Matrix, Neo's lover. What was her name? Trinity. I forgot where Kate's. Whatever. I was traveling from San Jose to Portland, and I had stopped somewhere, and I was watching like the CNN at like a travel center, you know, and actress dies in an Australian motorcycle accident. And I remember talking to people later on in the day. I'm like, you know, she died. And I saw it in the CNN today. It's like, no, that never happened. I'm like, motherfucker, I saw it. I know it. I wasn't the only one that saw it. And it was one of those things suddenly where they went to the cameras where it was at.
Damn.
Yeah.
Matrix moment.
Yeah. Matrix moment. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Tom Petty was interesting where someone said he died, and then they said, no, he hasn't. And then 24 hours, yes, he has. And so I don't know if they prematurely said he died before he actually did die. But that was just how quickly it exposed the news media. Whereas like
he died and got to the coroner, and the coroner's like, oh, I don't think he's dead yet.
Yeah,
he's still breathing.
Yeah.
No, but Monty, you're absolutely right. It shows the lapse in how information is revealed and how people just keep buying into that, indubitably.
Well, one thing is, apparently Trump said that he disrespected veterans, and like, well, that's not what I see. Like, he may have said one thing once, and it was when he couldn't go to a D-Day celebration is the wrong word because it's a war memorial.
Commemoration.
Thank you very much. Yeah, because it's like not going to start. Yay, the war! It wasn't like that, but there was actually a weather thing. They couldn't fly the helicopter. It was a genuine. He couldn't make it, and because it's out of character. I know I'm describing Trump with character, but it seems to be out of character because I've seen footage with him standing with families of fallen military people and being kind and courteous and everything else, like the human side that, you know, the 1% that's coming out
before he self promotes at the death speech.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he would use it. He's got an ego. And sorry, he's American. The thing is, people have just taken that on board, and he hates the military. It's like, actually, there was they used a photo of a gentleman that survived a landmine or something like that. He lost one of his hands, and he's severely burnt. And he released a video saying, he never said it to me, stop using me. And he looks really healthy as well. And we're seeing that flip quickly now, where the pushback, and I don't know if we're flipping between duality or it is a narrative war.
It's both. In the way you describe it, it's the narrative war, which is showing how it's flipping back and forth just by the multiple enumerations of counter to counter to counter to counter to counter to counter, spin to spin to spin. It's a spin war right now.
It is.
Okay.
All of it. And it's meant to distract. It's meant to take us out of our center. And
it's meant to people accept ignorance.
Yeah, and feed on the energy as well.
Yeah.
Hence trolls.
Yes. Is that still happening?
Like,
nah, it's over.
No. No, it's like, yeah. oh, there's a guy
Back
called
under the
Andrew,
bridge.
and he's doing stuff, and he makes money, and I'm unemployed, and I can't do anything. So we'll attack him and giving him more energy and expose. You know, the exposure sort of backfires. It's like, really? Oh, there's a guy that does readings. Oh, cool. It's if they, you know, you know, The Simpsons. You know, if ignore advertising, it dies. Like, I won't mention any ads because it's part of the point I'm making. Ads usually do 2 or 3 things. One, it's brilliant, and you talk about it. It's so terrible, you talk about it. If an ad is forgotten, it didn't work. And so even if you, I hate this ad, blah, 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 it's marketing, it still worked because you're talking about the ad and the product.
That's the nature of marketing. When it works.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Zen Fu, grandmaster of mystical marketing.
Yeah. That ad's terrible, but you're talking about it.
You're talking about it, exactly.
Keeps going. Yeah.
You know, over the years of having to deal with the different trolls, some are funny, some are just stupid, and these particular ones just repost or ignorant ones. They do it as a team. They that's how they get their rocks off. They do it on a regular basis. And what we're going to do now is troll the trolls for a minute. We're gonna go to the dark side of comedy for a minute.
Oh, careful! We may get a YouTube copyright strike there.
Exactly. Don't troll by the big man. So we're going to do a troll be gone prayer. Oh, trolls that sucketh the energy from here, we bring to you the grandest psychic wedgie of all. May your butt cheeks itch for an eternity. May your balls be tough and hard all the time. May they never be free and dry. May your shoes rot and stink every day.
May you be impudent.
May you be impotent and impudent to your own impotency. Forever struggling with the old banana. Putty in your hands it will always be, as you will live out your life in the basement, never knowing what real jobs are, let alone your purpose.
And just knowing that you two could succeed in life, but through your choices, you didn't.
We wonder how genetics has created you.
Oh my God!
What was God thinking when he allowed your mom to not swallow you as a load?
What soul contract did you sign before coming on the planet? I just had an image of meeting one of them. It's like, oh yeah, hi, isn't it great? We're free, and we're multi-dimensional beings experiencing ourselves fully. Yeah, I trolled you back in September. Oh, that was you? How did that work out for you, by the way? What did you learn? Oh, it took another 3 lifetimes. No, really?
You were that bad of a troll? 3 more lifetimes during the Great Awakening? Jesus Christ.
Yes. Well, no, go over there, Jesus.
Oh, man.
Oh, I recently spoke to Jesus again. He's still on the toilet reading. Go away.
You got to tell him he should get off the pot, man.
Yeah, no. That people are interested in what you think, sir. Go away. And I can't see Allah. Did you see what I did there?
You put it into Allah 1.
Yeah, actually, so back in the late 90s, someone, you get Star Wars figures, but they had an Allah figure and the box was empty.
Because if there was an image of Allah, oh boy.
Yeah, no blasphemy there.
Exactly.
And John Maxwell said, Allah is basically an Arabic word for Yahweh. So it's the same God, people. Maybe stop killing each other. Just putting it out there. I know, wacky.
Wait, how politics is it, right? How many people do? I know people who are like, oh, religion's all bullshit, but they're so addicted to their politics. And I'm like, wow, okay. two beliefs that are creating so much division that you guys are going to war with each other. Don't you see? It's crazy.
I've got a perfect example. Northern Ireland, Christian versus Christian. And I'm sure Jesus is going, you know that love your brother thing? Did you read the book?
Yes. Love thy neighbor, yeah.
Oh, but I don't like him. He wears orange, so let's shoot him.
Yeah.
Like, what?
He smells of potatoes.
Yeah, I just don't understand. And Andrew's picked up on the word, like what we're going through, the troubles. That's so Irish, a religious civil war. Oh, we don't talk about the troubles. Troubles?
We don't talk about the troubles. We may mention future troubles, like a weather report. We don't talk about the troubles. No.
Yeah.
Hey, you get to experience them on your own.
Now, slightly serious question. 7 years of tribulation. Has it started? Are we in the middle? Is it Earth years? Because hopefully it's not a Kali Yuga long year.
Whose tribulations are we forced to accept?
Well, I suppose, okay, so someone's put the idea into the systems like, there's going to be 7 years of tribulation. And
let's fact check.
That's all.
Let's fact check.
Do you have a source? Do you have articles? Link, please.
Exactly. And you can't outsource your sources.
Yeah, actually, what the whole thing about Trump saying he doesn't want to go to a cemetery because it's full of losers. I shared the meme where it's a therapist and a client. So I need to ask, are the anonymous sources in the room now? Because
the answer is yes, they are.
They've told me no.
They've told me no, exactly.
Thank you, Sean. That great line from Life of Brian. I'm anonymous and so is my wife. Which is, I'm Brian and so is my wife. I use that all the time, but half the people think I've got a wife out of that joke. I'm like, no, I'm Spartacus and so is my wife. So, Andrew, since 9:09 here, so completion. What Galactic comedians do we have hanging out? Because it'd be very interesting to see their point of view on the trolls, because we had this idea, we'll see if there's any Galactic comedians hanging out, and because we had the limp-wristed troll attack, what can they see in a comedic way of just
so when I was talking to their pre-show, they had made themselves kind of prevalent for a while, just offering general energy, but just when the trolls hit, they gave me this really weird energy and this look like they couldn't believe somebody would actually interrupt the broadcast. Now they've seen this before, but to actually see, because what they were doing was trying to understand the troll and the comedy that it was creating for itself. And I had to explain that this was a pure chemical desire, just like a person addicted to a drug. And that the high that they get from it is so strong, it's stronger than cocaine and heroin. Okay,
it's like kids doing prank phone calls.
It's beyond that. It's beyond that. It's almost like to the kill, because many of them are transmuting pure rage through the energy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the rage is because they can't accept their own reality,
or they don't accept any reality, and they don't want any reality or any reality but their own
way they can react.
Right.
So the cosmic comedians, the people, they're gone as a result?
No, they're still here, and they were. Well, the thing is, I was explaining to them this was a pure chemical thing. Whatever choice there was they gave away to themselves to the dark side long ago, like the Darth Vader story. Okay, to get to that level of badness, and then they were contemplating this stuff for a while, and they wanted to say part of the comedy of what trolls do is to just disrupt and to get attention, which we already knew that part. But the type of attention they're trying to grab on these shows is an energy that they will never succeed at, even though they have the potential in them. There's this immediate rocket effect back when the joy of doing it ends, of I'm a nothingness and I have to do this to feel something. And that's their particular level of psychopathy. Okay? The comicalness of it here is, how do you heal those people?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you heal them to rewire them of causing harsh issues, troubles, frequency, whatever it is you want to describe it, with intention and joy behind it for the majority of your young childhood?
Well, they have to make a choice to start with, but yeah, that's the difficulty. If they haven't made the choice of, I want to get better and be healed, you're throwing bricks into the Grand Canyon. It's like, this is not doing anything.
Because you can't empathize with them. You can't. You are completely foreign to nature, and if you empathize with it, it'll destroy you.
And it's like that with everything, like no matter what the situation is, it all comes down to, all you can really do is exemplify a state of being. And if that influences others, great. If it doesn't matter. It's still your responsibility to exemplify that state of being for yourself.
But from a point of view of the psychic comedians that are here as a collective, comedy is a form of healing. And this particular type of personality that gets this form of addicted, to deprogram of that high frequency is very difficult, extremely difficult in a comical nature. They actually have to go back to their original source code and rewrite what joy is.
Very true, which could be done.
All of it can be done.
Yeah.
It's just the level of work and self-effort and the healing time afterward that's put into it.
See, this is a whole separate segment of everything. Troll healing. I think the need for it is so dramatic right now.
Well, do you live under a bridge? Do you have trouble dealing with any reality?
Yes.
Then come to remove a troll.
So we'll use this group as an example. So there were 12 in the particular group. There are 2 that pretend to be leaders and 1 that's the hidden leader. Okay. And there's no schedule. They do this on whim, except there's an entity influencing how often they're doing it. Ooh. Because when they're getting their joy and their dopamine release, that's the contract the entity has to get them hooked to do a situation, which will do that over and over again. And then when they're not doing that, it feeds off of them when they're not doing that, which makes them only feel that doing that is the only way I can feel good.
Oh, now, big props to the entity doing that, because that's a brilliant plan.
Right.
Yeah. We'll feed off them when they're on a high, but when they're not using, we'll feed on them more, which it gives them the idea that they need the high. And it's like, oh, that's brilliant, you bastard. But still, it's a brilliant concept.
So that's what they do to get inside. And generally this type of entity comes from high schools. Most of the time, it just starts out as a background elemental energy that it starts absorbing undealt with emotions that kids have. We have to say that before 1950, the majority of young childhoods had some form of major trauma in them. Major trauma that was completely unhealed in their life because there was no infrastructure of dealing with emotional traumas and damage. They stuck you into a place where you died 40 years later from electrocution.
So much truth in that, so much relevance.
Up until the last 30 years, there was no such thing as mental health. Okay? No such thing.
Oh my God.
Okay?
Yeah, it's kind of hard, like there's so, especially with the lockdown and the outbreak. I'm using outbreak now because pandemic. I looked up the meaning of it. Yeah, it's been reduced because the numbers don't fill out. Mind you, here in Australia, no one's died from influenza all year, which is, well, that's a good thing because they have to keep writing it.
Well, their marketing plan to get the pandemic to work just didn't work. But it's not flopping like Coke Zero.
Okay. Yeah, I still maintain that they had this idea of releasing a virus or whatever it is, but the Prime creator's gone, all right, you can do that, but bink, too early.
But don't forget about your Facebook ads. Remember, if you don't get those dialed in perfect, it's not going to work.
Yeah, and Facebook's changing on the 1st of October as well, and so that'll be interesting to see where they're going. And in Scotland, they've got a hate speech bill coming in, but no one's the people who want to bring it in aren't debating with anybody, because if I share a meme, I could end up in jail for 7 years. Yeah, and it's like Scotland. It's Scotland.
Land of insults. Exactly.
Yeah. You tell your mother to fuck off in the morning, and all right, dear, see you tomorrow.
Exactly. I'll be here and you say me fuck off to me every morning for the next 40 years. You love me,
isn't that? That's delightful, sir. That's delightful. Would you like some eggs? Yeah.
The world we live in. So the psychological breakdown of a troll is where we're at. Now, the comedians that are here, so people that are listening, Monty and I talked about off-world comedians that regularly come into shows. We did a couple shows back where we brought them out, and they're here in the background and they're organizing, and they are going to be open to any questions, but they had a statement about the psychology of trolls and that this happens on other worlds too, this type of thing. But in this particular world, it's very predatorial in nature, and the energy that they get off it is a predatory harvesting.
They hunt in packs.
They hunt in packs. Exactly.
Oh, dear.
And that deprogram them will be a challenge. They're like, well, we hate to figure out who's got to do that job.
So going with the idea, like Dolores Cannon found out through her quantum hypnotherapy stuff, that there's an energetic split, like the 3D is going to separate from everything else. I'm just thinking, cool, because the only everyone that's been working and raising their vibration, changing their frequency, working towards enlightenment, whatever you want to call it, becoming better, remembering who we are, all be left is a world of trolls, and they'll feed on themselves. So my question is, can we turn on a TV and watch that as they eat each other?
Well, we have World of Warcraft for us to learn about what happens if you leave the trolls going.
Yeah.
They don't eat themselves. They learn to eat cow and chicken and grow really big and come after humans 100 years later. Except this time they come with interdimensional beings known as the Burning Legion of Evil.
Reminds me of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where there was 2 planets and they fought to the near annihilation of each other, and they realized we should work together and conquer other planets, and they came to Earth and they were ready for galactic conquest, and then they were eaten by a dog because it was so small.
So yes, there are references of great explorers goes to large predatory world within hours is predated on. And they call that cosmic comedy. Has been going on for eons and eons and eons. And unless you know the backstory of the arrogance of the particular light being, it's like Galactic version of whatchamacallit, the Death Awards.
Darwin Awards.
Yes, the Darwin Awards. Yeah. Like the Galactic version of it.
I just had
the great angelic light being Michael went to the dark territory and his light went out. It hasn't been seen since.
Where's Mikey? Oh, he went to the dark again. Oh, with his flaming sword. I just had an image of a galactic comedian. So, who's out of town? Who's from out of town? Yeah.
Who's from out of town?
I think Tanya's got a good suggestion here in the chat to have homework for making troll memes.
Oh, hell yeah. Please make your dank troll memes. Touch your dark side. Troll back for a moment.
And as we go along with all this, then there'll be Troll Lives Matter, where actual trolls, elementals that live under bridges, don't want to be associated with these idiots. Hey, I've been living in Purley in Scotland for 400 years. I am not part of those stupid twats. All right.
I don't even have internet.
Yeah. I have no idea how I'm communicating with you now. I just want a quiet life under a bridge, and I may eat a sheep or two, and I mean the animal, not not the general public.
I made it eat a sheeple or three.
Yeah, the Trolls Against Trolls Union.
Oh my god.
The union of Karen and Kens.
Yeah, but actual troll. Yeah, because I know a couple of Karens. They're awesome. I always have to apologize for them. I'm so sorry how your name's been used.
Yeah,
it
but
are
they true Karens?
No, they're human balls of light who happen to be called Karen.
Do they identify with being a Karen?
Well, the name, but not the subject.
Okay, I'm referring to Karens. Unifying all the evil Karens of the world.
Let's
speak to the Galactic manager.
I would like to see the Prime Creator. My step grandmother pointed out, it said, it's an old school term, but they're do-gooders. And you know how, like in the 20th century, like they're do-gooders. Just do-gooders have a name now, Karen, and I think someone wants to call them Hillarys as well. But it's just Debbie as well. Don't be a Debbie Downer. I'm only upset because you use my name in a derogatory way. I know a couple of Debbies, and they're fine.
They're not down.
No, they're bright sparks of life. It's the little things.
Somebody had asked me to interview a Karen, and I'm like, technically I have, and it doesn't go well.
Well, like even if you go biblical, you're a doubting Thomas. First question: who in the Middle East 2,000 years ago would be called Christopher, Simon, or Thomas?
Well, exactly. Those are nice Jewish names, aren't they?
Oh yeah. and Christopher seems a bit out of whack. Like, no, well, that sounds a bit like Christ. Who do you think you are?
A Karen revocation. That works with the troll revocation. I've actually got a troll revocation out there.
You really? An actual troll?
Oh, yeah. And actually, yeah, that was during some of the other previous troll hits.
I'm going to have fun after the show looking at the Facebook feed as well as the YouTube feed, because a friend of mine just texted me, and apparently we're attracted that because they can't get in here, they're hitting other places. So thank you for the Army of Light having to deal with those trolls in other comments.
God.
Yeah, see, the thing is, you can't stop them. That's why we put everything to one space in one room. Makes it easy for Robert to do what he's got to do. Troll killer, troll slayer extreme.
Troll Busters, new from Sony.
Exactly. So Troll Buster, what is your kill level at now?
It's dropped off when we closed the room, but I'm filtering now in the waiting room, and I think I got 2 more.
Oh, you hear it, guys? He's zoning in on you.
And these are high wizard trolls, because they're not the foot soldiers. Yeah, they're not the foot soldiers where like let's do a flash mob because everyone does that, and we'll so make a mark in history that we went onto a comedy show and then wondered why it never worked. And I can kind of understand when Andrew's doing a call-in show where they're trying to break up the seriousness of it and defending people's rights because he's a fake, and yet it's been over a decade and he's helped how many people? And then, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Everyone that takes on the knowledge that Andrew shares, they've moved forward, and it's all part of the experience. But to troll a comedy show, they're called hecklers, and Robert's our bouncer. So 2 drink minimum, bitches.
Yes.
We got to raise it to 4 drink minimum.
Yeah, it's 8 o'clock. The show starts 8 o'clock in the morning for me. So I'm Australian. I'm up for that. I'll have 4 drinks. Hey. Saturday.
Oh my God.
Exactly. Drinking the Kool-Aid. Whatever brand of Kool-Aid they're drinking is got to be GMO Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Well, on the flip side, at least they're not outside protesting by burning down private property. So that's a good thing.
Well,
Let me ask you a question, Andrew. Have you ever tried to bring some of these guys on?
Never. Never. I would never, ever, never. I would never shine a light on a troll. Never.
That's the same thing like with hecklers. You want to come up here because that's sort of they want attention,
That's
and
what
if you
they're
give them
trying to do, right?
if you give them full attention, they can destroy everything, and they think they're the center of the universe. Ironically, they're the center of their own universe, but they have to go outside their universe to feel good.
Not to mention, there's a handful of words they could say to get the channel insta banned.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they're being a rebel. It's so weird, like Antifa. We're fighting fascism. Yeah, but it looks like a small gust of wind can push you over. You're not like the NRA hillbillies that have been training for 30 years and have four different types of guns and can strip it down and build it back up wearing a blindfold. If there's ever a civil war in the United States between left and right, it would probably last an afternoon. Because the police are now actually arresting these agitators. Apparently, one of the Antifa head guys actually had a flamethrower, and it's been reported that he curled up into the fetal position and cried when he was arrested. So
yes, because he just realized his world ended because he was carrying a flamethrower in race riots.
Yeah, so
it suddenly dawned on him.
That's your army there, gents. Like, smash the fash. Oh, I've split a nail.
Yeah, no, that's not my flamethrower. That's my friend.
And the irony is, Elon Musk sold flamethrowers because he likes Spaceballs.
Yes, he sold 30,000 of them at that.
Yeah, because what's the application of a flamethrower with positive apart from burning
the story? He told the story on the Joe Rogan show, and he and a friend were passively joking about creating and selling a flamethrower and that they could sell a certain amount of units. And they were drunk one night and came up with the plans and everything and wrote a website and everything and started selling flamethrowers. And then the next day, 2 days later, a lawyer called them going, are you sure you're doing this? But they ended up going through selling 30,000 units.
Yeah, kill spiders. How big are the spiders you're dealing with here? Alicia in chat. Yeah, they kill spiders. Well, that's true. Yeah, I'm sure flamethrowers kill spiders. Probably also small cats, cows, half your house.
Yeah, half your house, exactly.
They kill whatever it kills, whatever doesn't like fire.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
In South Africa, one of the leading anti-theft vehicle devices was a flamethrower under your right and left door. No, I'm dead serious. They would install these because carjackings and kidnappings were so common.
Yeah, I know. I'm laughing because it is true.
An instant blast of flame that would come right up by the driver's side door and the passenger side door.
Yeah, South Africa's an interesting country.
Imagine that being the number one self-defense weapon in cars in your area for many years in a row.
Yeah. I'm sure carjackings went down then. Because you may have your testicles burnt off. Yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah.
Sean with the liquid nitrogen bomb. Yeah. Flame is better. Flame is always better. The power we have to entertain ourselves. The trolls, it gave me a somber moment, and it was one of those reminders that it's going to get worse the closer we get to the election. And I so enjoy doing these comedy shows that I just want to thank Monty, Seth, and Robert in the background, and everyone that's joined here for sharing our time, and just letting ourselves let down and open up.
Thank you. It's nice to play, and that's all it is. We're just playing. Not like a player, but it's the imagination and sharing idea, and it's just playing. Where I don't record Andrew and I's conversations because it's exactly the same that we do these. It's hard. The only thing difference is you're all listening because this is roughly the same thing. We could talk for an hour about Star Wars and less than 3 minutes, someone's laughed already.
Oh yeah, just naturally. Sometimes within minutes, a minute or two, there's laughing's going. Like the other day, we were talking about what Star Wars book would you write?
Yeah, I'm just sorry. I giggled at Robert. He's got a stick.
It's my ruler. I'm ready.
Troll ruler.
Merchandising. That's what Trolls be gone.
Nice
troll spray.
Flexible one.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's a good musical instrument as well.
True harp is what it's like.
Yeah. So, guys, what do we want to delve deeper into? The comedians, the group of galactic comedians are there waiting. They've got their note cards in place and their teleprompters. They've got their audiences keyed in because they're going to be laughing at us. And they're teaching a comedy lesson to their people right now.
Oh, wow. Just the Arcturians. Okay, gents, or whatever. This is a troll.
This isn't just this is comedians from around the world.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Around the galaxy. So everything you can think of. But the key here is they're graduating the galactic level of comedy. They've understood the universal joke, and part of their great paper to graduate comedic galactic university is to rewrite the punchline.
Just an image of Sasquatch just looking at human behavior and just rolling around on the ground. I'm going back to nature, and then they put up a nylon-based dwelling, which
exactly, which is a tent.
Yeah. What's your intent? Yeah.
So they're waiting. If anyone would like to put questions direct into the chat to the galactic comedian troupe that is here, that is being taught by their comedians, and our group of comedians here who are going to put their collective heads together and see who can come up with the most comical concept.
Well, what do they little thing?
No pressure here.
What do they find funny? I know wearing shoes, that makes them laugh. But well, what else can, like, in this moment of now, what makes them funny? What makes them laugh about the human condition on the planet Earth?
To constantly have to tell them they don't have to use the same body over and over again. They find immense pleasure in that we're still stuck as a multidimensional being on one body. It brings them so much pleasure. It's very hard to talk down to someone that doesn't know about, you don't need that body. Okay, so they can have lots of attitude dealing with that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Nazca lines, is that just graffiti or do they mean something?
They mean something.
Okay, all right. Because now that's good troll humor. It's like, let's go back 1,000 years and tweak a mountain, like that big horse in northern England, whatever it is. They will have no idea what this is for. They make up everything. Is Stonehenge? That's just a big clock. That's the only thing. Yeah, something like that.
Exactly. And then there's this. Why did they put this pyramid here? They got the wrong plot. You don't think there's a pyramid that were built that's on the wrong plot?
Someone lost a bet.
Someone lost a bet. Exactly.
Oh yeah, Elon Musk. Yeah, what do they see about humans, like mainstream humans creating AI? Because about a year ago, Elon was saying that
it's the biggest threat,
AI.
Right?
Yeah, AI is the biggest threat. Now he's got, look, we've got this thing that will be implanted into your brain, and you'll have the internet wired into your brain. And everyone's, well, for me anyway, it's like, I watch a lot of science fiction. No.
Yeah.
No, I've seen this happen.
In their view, that's not the single most threat to humanity. Humanity is a threat to itself.
Well, yeah,
How they kill themselves is what everyone else is betting on. Okay?
Well, yeah, I know humanity is its worst enemy, but come on, I mean, a bit
It's
more
such its worst
information.
enemy. It's such its worst enemy. Whatever the betting pool is going to be is probably going to be it, because we believe in betting.
Oh my God, that's it. Right. It's not a cosmic joke. It's a cosmic bet.
Exactly. That's been fixed.
Oh my
Fixed
God.
bet.
Right. The game's rigged. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
What makes me laugh, and I'm sure Galactics will laugh as well, when it doesn't matter who it is, doesn't matter what side of the aisle or political, it's like, we're going to go to Mars. Sure you are.
Exactly. So
we
Sarah's
kicked
saying,
you off the moon.
Sarah in chat room was saying, do they have death pools? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. How long before this one dies?
3 clotons on the fat guy.
So something else that they find very humorous about humanity in general is, we've talked about shoes, but our mating rituals that make absolutely no sense. And they say, the rest of the species of the universe, they have these very organizing mating rituals that makes it very clear
That's what's
what your intentions are. You grow a set of feathers a certain color, that's what you're going to get. But here, it changes every month.
Are you saying that I shouldn't go to a darkened nightclub with loud music, drink a lot of alcohol, and then try and find a mate? Because that sounds like a...
No, what they're saying
very
is,
human.
What they're saying is, once the awakening's done, there's going to be a lot of suckers coming for Earth women. And there's going to be a lot of teaching going on.
Oh, no, you didn't, you
Exactly.
three-headed bastard.
Exactly. There's going to be some smackdown.
Oh my God, yes.
Ooh. Well, after the Great Awakening, can I have a xenomorph as a pet? The alien from Aliens?
Yeah.
You can have anything you want afterwards.
Oh, good, because I'll be a pussycat, but it's like, get the hell off my lawn. Why? And this alien, 7-foot alien comes out.
Because now we got unity consciousness. This is my friend.
This is my friend. He may be all teeth and jaws, but he's my friend.
He's got a big heart. His heart.
Yeah. He's my friend. Not your friend. My friend. I also jokingly have said, and I'll say it again, I want to make contact with aliens so they can land on my front lawn, and then I can yell at them, get off my lawn.
So they have a tremendous laughter for the men of the previous generation that drive big cars. They go like 2D, you think 2D driving is exciting? Wait until you do 3D or 5D flying. And you like freaking the speed of light, assholes. That's like tricycle shit. Oh, I'm going 190 miles an hour in a straight track.
Connected to the ground.
Right, connected to the ground.
One question that I remembered, it's popped up. Out of all the galaxies, everyone keeps, it could be just a psyop, but is there actually a species of little green men from Mars? Or just little green men?
No. There are little green men, but not from Mars.
Okay. So there are little green men, and I don't mean Yoda. So, because that was all part of the
men is a big definition.
Yeah, because the classic alien is like they use the gray head, but they make them green, and it's always a saucer, from the 50s,
and then 2 tentacles coming out their head.
Yeah, and stuff like that.
That's the key. The tentacles.
Yeah. Because it's always aliens. Oh, little green men. Open your mind up real wide now.
Something else they laugh at is all the warning signs on things like escalators, elevators, people walkers. Okay, vending machines. I mean, this will kill you stickers are on a lot of places, human beings.
Yeah, that's part of the dumbing down.
Technology, huh?
I remember seeing Billy Connolly do a thing where he got a hairdryer from reception in a hotel. And he's finished used it. Oh, there's a tag on it. And it probably says, please return to desk when finished. And the tag actually said, do not use in shower. Now, if you think about that, so for that warning to be there, someone did that. It's not like, why would you take, how can you use it in the shower? Like you're heating up the water more? My hair's not getting dry. Turn the shower off.
It's like everybody's done everything, right? There's always someone who's done, like that thing. I remember seeing a guy ate an airplane piece by piece, ate an entire airplane. People trying to do everything.
It's kind of odd. Australia's well known for its danger warning signs, but it gets a bit ridiculous. Danger, death, fine, $50. but if you're dead, you're going to pay the $50.
It's going to come out of your heirs. What are your heirs going to get?
Yeah. I will end your blood. Yeah.
We're going to liquidate your blender for cash.
There's a great stand-up comic called Steve Hughes. He's Australian, half English, so he bounces back between countries. He because he's lived in England for a certain amount of time, he's got that outsider look when he comes back to Australia. And like, if there's a canal here in Australia, there's a big fence and a sign, danger, beware. But then he goes to Amsterdam and there's nothing near the canal because they treat you like an adult in Amsterdam, where it's like, is your bike wet? Yep. Well, you're on the wrong bit. But in Australia, it's like you need to be treated like a child. If you want to talk about over the last 2 to 3 decades of health and safety is just getting insane, where to change a light bulb, you have to do a course.
Yes, because, changing a light bulb is a big deal.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is from Meredith. Ask the cosmic comedians what they think about light worker word salad.
Well, they oftentimes try to translate what the meaning of said person saying said thing, taking as fact, never been fact checked. So
excellent.
They're kind of like, how we talk about grammar Nazis.
Yeah.
They have their version of what the fuck you talking about. You're just throwing a bunch of shit together and seeing if anyone's ignorant enough to accept it.
Lost in translation, hardcore.
Hardcore.
Rosa, how can you light a vacuum on fire? What were you doing? I accidentally lit a vacuum on fire.
Oh my God. I have a story.
See, that's the thing about doing comedy is when you have an open mind and imagination, you hear something like that. It's kind of scary where the mind goes. Share your story.
This one has a little bit of a saddie factor to it because it actually happened. Hold on a second. I had to plug my computer in, but my cord unplugged at the far end.
2020, yo.
So I had a friend that lives. I had the friend that lives right down the street, like maybe 200 yards from where I live. And so we would regularly be over there. They'd regularly be over here. And then there's about 20 other kids in the neighborhood. We'd all get together and go between a bunch of people's houses when we were young. So I must have been 12 going on 13. And I'm going to leave the names out because I know some of them might be listening. Okay.
Legal proceedings. Yeah.
Was told that before his dad get home, he had to clean the car and fill it up with gas. And the mother didn't want him to drive because she didn't trust him yet because he was 16 and just got his license. And so she didn't want him to go drive. So she decided that she was going to siphon gas out of one car and put it in with the other. Mm-hmm. And she used a shop vac.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What do you think happened? So we're out back, like maybe 25, 30 feet, but behind the house playing like kickball or something like that. And we hear, wee, boom. And we see this top of a shop vac go 50, 60 feet above the house with a big flame stream behind it.
A lesson was learned.
We ran around the corner. There's the mother trying to put her clothes out of fire. Luckily, she wasn't burnt that bad. I mean, she had burns on her, but it wasn't that bad. It could have been way worse if she didn't flinch.
Yeah.
Oh my God, if she would have been in the torch zone. But we got there and the flame was still going on. And we're like, why would you use a shop vac? And her answer is, it's wet dry.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I will never, ever, ever forget that. Ever.
I don't think anyone in the chat either. Because like, what? I've got a story for you. You know a vacuum, right? I like the Simpsons thing where there's a school excursion somewhere, and to refill the gas tank in the bus, Principal Skinner gives the credit card to Otto, which is a pipe and a mint. Because he's got to siphon it out. And of course, Otto has the mint first. Oh, I should have had the mint first. Because
Alan say that's funnier than the bear shitting on your patio, Andrew. I don't know. The bear shitting on my patio give me a lot of fucking pleasure. A lot of fucking pleasure. Being able to share a bear shit piece to all my friends.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, was that a spiritual thing, or is the bear was just trying to say hello? Well,
that was the debate. Is this a spiritual thing? When a bear shits on your patio?
Did I wrong someone somewhere?
Exactly. Do I need to read into these entrails?
How much wrong did I do them? Jeez. Does a bear shit in the woods? No, it's usually Andrew's patio.
Yes, my patio. They're leaving me portents of the future.
Jeez. Was this a recent event?
Last year. October last year, actually. Sorry, September last year. Early September last year. Yeah.
So 12 months.
Yeah. A year ago to the Robert, do you still have the picture? I don't have it on this computer.
So I can find one that would look like it.
No. It's got to be the one, because that was gigantic and you could still see all the shit inside that was undigested.
I'll take a peek.
So I'm just wondering, if it's going to be a planetary deterrent. It's like there's a bear, someone waking up going, I have something to do. I'm sure I have something to do right now.
Andrew, you sent that in the old Skype account.
Yes, I did. But you used it on a show. I sent you the image. Oh, wait, I might have the image on this computer then.
Please stand by. We're looking for bear shit.
Yeah, that's the fun part of being independent content creators. That the magic's gone because we do all the producing on air,
live, on live.
Yeah, we're doing my roundtable. I always joke. Yeah, sorry, I'm a bit distracted. I'm producing myself. That's not a masturbation joke, and because I have to, I can multitask to a certain point. I can breathe, talk, and walk at the same time. But if I try to focus on making sure someone can get on Skype, which sucks, I keep still having audio problems with the recordings. Yay! 2020, nothing works.
And nothing still works.
Yeah, because everything works perfectly, so we'll change it.
Nothing works
like
ever.
If you look at the automotive industry, you don't really see many cars from 1988, but in 1988 you would see a lot of cars from the 50s because they were built to last. And you buy your first car and probably get buried in it. Now it's that disposable, not income, disposable culture, consumerism. Yes. Like I've got a Blu-ray player which is nearly 4 or 5 years old, and it looks like I'll have to replace it. And it's like, I just got used to it, and I have to go get a new one. Oh, come on.
it's consumption culture, like you said. Everything's just made to break so you can get a new one and just keep
Yeah.
moving on.
Well, it gets to that point. You know, I've got a CD. This CD player is broken. You know, it's cheaper to buy a new one than get it fixed.
Yes. Holy
What?
shit. Yeah. Here's a clear example that we are way out of alignment.
Yeah, but that's that whole central bank thing. You paying the debt is that you constantly need inflation and growth. Like here in Melbourne, over the last 20 years, we've got a lot of skyscrapers and buildings going up. And it brought all this money into the state. Yeah, but half the buildings are empty. Like,
Yeah.
And there was a boom of apartments, but they're about the size of a chicken coop. And they're under regulation and no one buys it. Like I know someone's bought an apartment near the Crown Casino, which is a big casino, but it's near the air vents from the kitchens. So their balcony and windows covered in grease because of the exhaust fans. Like, score.
Exactly.
Yeah. Where's it all going to end, right?
Where's it all going to end? Yeah. Did you hear about the building that was built like a giant reflecting mirror? This was in Vegas. And then at high noon, it would blind half the city with this blinding lights.
I did hear about that.
Oh, Jesus is back.
Exactly.
Jesus is back.
Oh, my God.
That you can see from like 60 miles away. It has never dawned on the designer. And then some other wonderful designer, after this building was built in all its flaws, did the same thing, except used an inverse twist. So it had a bottom and a top to it as the sun would rise through it. It was even doubly intense.
Holy shit. I see the light.
I can't see it all now.
They showed people cooking eggs on the pavement in it and frying bacon within minutes. Yeah, on pavement. Yeah.
Well, it brings up the question: are architects human? Because they go for the artistic.
Yes.
Man.
There we go.
So
no corn in it though.
No. Zoom in, Robert, please. Forget the etymology of a bear shit. You see all those undigested nuts next to all that petrified stuff? I mean, this bear was constipated. And then that shit hurt like a motherfucker and shot out of him like a giant explosive.
Oh,
now, just so you understand, that's about a 5-foot round circle.
Holy
Have you noticed that those rocks there? Those are not small rocks. Those are big rocks.
I was going to say.
No, that's totally different at that scale. Yeah.
Yeah, right. It's not gravel.
Exactly, it's not gravel.
Because if it's gravel, it's like, that's really small. No, these are big ass rocks.
So he must have been going, man, I'm constipated. It's been a long time since I took a shit. And he's like, nuts, berries. He must have ate like 3 trees of berries and nuts.
See, this is where I can plug my company. He could have bought my nuts. He wouldn't have had this problem because they're sprouted.
So, Robert, zoom in again. A little bit more. There you go. All right. See that? We'll stop right there. See that bottom left-hand corner, bright red undigested cherry? And if you look up to the top right, petrified, over right there, right where you got it, that's solid petrified, whatever he's eaten in the last 8 months that hasn't moved through him, causing toxic energy and probably putting him in a state where he's having the beginnings of colic.
I just had a marketing idea for you, Andrew. You know how you keep talking about colonics? You should use that picture.
Well,
see, spiritually, you need a colonic.
Exactly.
Why?
Because you look like a bear shit in my front yard. Well, the thing is, there's actually a school out there called Scatology where you learn all about animal shit. So you can be a scatologist.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but okay, that still there's a reason for that. It's probably not popular, but that kind of makes sense because that way you can see if animals are being sick and how they're being affected. But there's other stuff where, like, scientists, we're going to give cocaine to these frogs and see what happens. Really? Like, how is that going to benefit humanity?
Well, it's going to tell you if your animal's going to attack you or not. If he's grown, he's all pissed off because he hasn't shit in 10 days.
See, look at how like it's probably eating human food, coming into human contact.
Oh,
and
yeah,
that's when constipation happens.
So that
Out
hunk
in nature, it's probably not regular.
That hunk we were looking at was probably shit stolen out of McDonald's garbage bags. Okay, because bears are trash eaters. If they don't have to spend energy to eat it, they'll eat that shit all day long. Yeah,
I figured out, Andrew. They just picked you as a representative of humanity, and they were extracting their revenge. It's like, I ate your food, you can have it back now.
Oh no!
Now I have this vision of the bear walking down the driveway, going, "Oh man, oh fuck, I gotta go. Whose house is this? This will really fuck with him. Let me aim it and set it down just right.
The bear mother won't find out. I'll be all right.
Exactly." And then, it shoots out of him, and he rumbles off, going, "Oh, I feel so much better," rubbing his feet like a dog.
And meanwhile, on the ridge, looking down, is those same two Sasquatches laughing their ass off and rolling.
Like, yeah, what the fuck did that bear just shit out? Half a deer.
I want to meet a Sasquatch now.
Yeah, that's bear. That's what it is. Let's poop on the colonics guy's yard. Exactly.
And the circle is complete.
So as I began to tell some of my shamanic friends this, I got a lot of really good ribbings and positive jokes out of this. You know, what does the bear poop tell you today, Andrew? Well, let me zoom into this berry part. So yes, that is a real picture. That is an absolute real picture. And again, so you understand the scale and size, like that literally was like a 4-foot round. And if you imagine, from the picture how thick it was like that thick. Okay? Like literally that thick. A whole way through the 4-foot round.
Oh my God.
That's why if you go hunting for bears after hibernation, there's a reason why you can't eat them, because they're still full of that acidic crap in their system. They haven't cleansed everything out.
Yes. So this particular bear, for that size shit, like if you'd ever seen a bear that's it's bigger than a lot bigger than a dog's, but not like that. Okay, not like that.
What kind of bear are you thinking of? Like a black bear or grizzly?
Had to been a black bear. Had to been a black bear.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a Kodiak moment.
I mean, no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't a Kodiak moment.
That was good.
I stole that from Aladdin, which with Robin Williams. It's a Kodiak moment. Get that bear out of here. Yeah.
Exactly. So I one of the particular things that I get amusement out of is, why does a bear shit on the Galactic historian's back lawn? And then I just can't stop. What is the bear's mission? What has he been telling me to do?
I'm changing my joke from when you enter 5D, you get a 6D bus pass, and you have to figure out why a bear shat on the Galactic historian's patio.
Exactly.
What? Oh. And once you got both of them, you move to 7D.
You have to take your bus past 270.
Yeah, I just like the image of someone standing for an eternity in 5D going, what the fuck does this mean? What? There's a bus? Why is there a bus in 6D? I can transmute into a ball of light. Why do I need to catch a bus? Did they have a Rosa Parks moment? What's going on?
Well, there is a reason that there might be, like, for when you're too lazy and you don't want to switch bodies, you take the 5D bus.
Oh, well, 5D, yeah, I can understand.
And that just tells you how lazy you really are if you're riding the 5D bus. Okay, light workers, if you're riding the 5D bus, that's D- effort.
Now, public transportation's awesome on 3D.
Yes, yes, exactly right.
It's the 5D you got to be careful of.
The 5D motherfuckers, exactly. The life of bears shitting on my lawn. As I said, I got a tremendous amount of pleasure out of it, and I hope you all have too. That's why I shared that shit picture with you.
Yeah,
Now
we've gone from trolls to
Endless
shit.
possibilities. Trolls to
Well,
shit. Exactly.
exactly. Well, trolls are shit.
And here's a photo of a troll right now.
Exactly.
And the seeds of all his babies.
See, that's a life lesson they ignored. That's a life lesson they ignored. That's a life lesson.
Oh my god.
That was a shitty joke. That's right, Lana. It was.
So I hope you enjoyed the last 2 hours. I did.
It has gone quite fast. It was very amusable. So, do we want to take any callers?
Yeah, because the room's been locked, and so there
All right.
aren't sleeper cells of trolls. So
Robert will be at ready to mute, transmute, and kill.
I'm ready.
From
So
a place of
everybody,
love.
if you want to call in, that's right. You can raise your hand if you're inside the chat room now and haven't been traumatized by the trolls and want to tell us something truly funny that isn't you asking me about your fucking purpose.
Because you'll get a reading from me.
Does anyone have the guts?
And especially if you get a reading from me today, you'll all be Batman. You were born into a wealthy family. You lost your parents at the age of 10, and then you decided to put on a bat costume and fight crime.
All right, Robert, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see what non-troll we're going to get.
Alrighty. Sarah.
Sarah, are you there?
Hey, how are you? Yeah.
Good. Where are you calling from?
Folsom, California. How are you doing today?
Well, welcome to the show. I just need you to say, I am not a troll.
I am not a troll.
There you go.
Today.
Today.
Nice. I like that.
Give me time. I can go there.
No,
I was actually thinking about writing a book called The Beauty of Trolls. I shit you not.
So
I love that sentence.
what are the beauty of trolls?
They give us something to walk away from.
They give us something to walk away from. Okay, that's good. That's snazzy.
Thanks. We just ended up having so much troll energy around my friends and whatnot, and we just started discussing how they live under bridges, and all they can do is just come up out of the dark and suck on your energy and run away. There's a lot of substance there to, go forward. But what I really want to hear from you is, I typed it in earlier, Nancy Pelosi as Larry Fine, Biden as Curly, and Trump as Mo.
Larry Fine.
You have been talking about the Three Stooges for so long. Here they are. They have shown up.
Well, there are many. Well, who's Shemp?
Oh shit!
Yeah, you forgot who Shemp
Are they trying to put Kamala in as Shemp? Maybe.
No. Shemp has to be Pence.
Okay. No. Oh yeah. Fair.
Shemp
fair,
has to be
fair.
Pence. Yes.
Yep. Because there's that little bit of reason that Shemp brings in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Just no. I didn't even think about that. I forgot about Shemp.
He was the smarter three most of the time.
Yeah.
I really want to see the debates. I want to see the debates now.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. Seriously. All I can do is put that little hand up. Don't poke me between the eyes. Nope. I got you. I got you.
Right.
Oh, that's the one. Yeah, Seth.
And then there's the slapstick where one hits one and hits another, then hits another, and they don't realize they all hit all three.
Right, and the entire place has gone down in shit.
Exactly.
Broken dishes everywhere. Who gives a crap about anybody else? Nothing. It's just fallout. Okay.
Exactly.
And then on to
It's
the
just
next one.
slapstick. On to the next one. Yeah, we'll pick it up when we're done.
History repeats itself.
So what have we made you laugh today about?
Oh my gosh, there were too many to count. Just the little quips and whatnot that popped up, and the way that you took care of the trolls. That was funny in and of itself. I mean, it was amazing. It's like everything got really quiet. The chat stopped. Like, okay.
I think everyone had a collective.
Done?
Yeah, it was a collective. Really?
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Is that really?
Isn't that cool? That was
I
freaking
know.
awesome.
This is my
Yeah.
second time here, and I was like, "Oh no! Like, what does this mean?" Like, what-
Right. Made your butt pucker for just a minute.
Yep.
Yes.
Seth's been initiated.
Exactly. He's been initiated. Like in my
Yes.
situation, like I go to look at the chat room because I have it off to the side, and every now and then I when the chat starts going really fast, I'm like, oh, something's going on there. And then you see
Right.
all the racist words that are there, like fuck.
Well, yeah, at the
All
beginning,
right.
I'm thinking, oh, hey, this is awesome. Things are starting to fill up. And then I had this little twinkling in the back of my head because unfortunately, it's an energy that I bring to things that I have found. The trolls come out. So apologies if any of that was my,
That wasn't
creative
yours. No,
input into that.
It wasn't yours.
But
That was a gang stalking, and they've been doing this for a couple of weeks now.
Right. And
Yeah.
were they being actually paid? So I'm thinking, hey,
No, it's
thumbs
it's,
up.
It's dopamine. An addiction.
No, it's
like
an
you said.
addiction thing.
That was amazing. I never
Somebody's
considered that
on
because
somebody's on Facebook somewhere saying I said something or did something and just organizing attacks against people.
The currency
that's
is energy.
Yeah, the currency
negative
is energy.
advertising is still advertising.
Oh, I know.
Yep,
as I
right.
said, after the years of dealing with it, and then at that point, it's just ride it, and everyone here can handle it. And I know everyone in the chat room can handle it. This was one of those things. It lasted a while. This one really lasted. They had some staying
It
power.
took a little time.
They had some staying power.
It was neat to see how you handled it, and you gave that example of how to uncreate the energy, and that was a lesson that you had given me, and I have been working on that. So it was a really neat example to see just how smoothly you were able to do that. It was cool. And the whole room just kind of,
it's just getting into that swagger zone. and there is an aspect of spirituality that the swagger zone can greatly amplify all of your intent, all of your prayers, because the swagger is not competitional, it's not hierarchical, and it's not separating of the experience. It makes all aspects of the experience more rich.
It's the confidence in the I am. And it doesn't mean you're any less or any more, just that I am.
Yeah. And in the middle of a show to be turning on the grounded swaggered energy, everyone did it, but that just shows the level of practice. It took 12 trolls to down the energy of the room, and it took a handful of words from all of us to start turning it around and moving the dense energy around and getting rid of it. So it's its own little teaching, cool little thing. I don't want it to happen anymore, but it's inevitable. Just like the sheep get predated on if you're a sheep herder. A wolf will come around. Okay. Right. I can't put out troll traps, that are harmful to the trolls. So I would put out troll traps.
Look at this bridge.
For sale. New traps for old.
Exactly.
This bridge is really shiny. Let's go there. Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm talking like those actually foot traps that the trappers use. That's what I'm thinking.
Nice.
This bridge has got Wi-Fi.
Are these people subscribed to your newsletter at all, do you think, or is it just random?
Some do, and then they click it off after it does subscribe after a few days, just to find out when they can fuck with you.
Nice troll away spray.
Yeah, looks good. Where can I get that, actually? How much is it?
I'll trade you some nuts for it.
All right.
It's the new currency. Troll away spray for nuts. Oh, what's the exchange rate on that?
No, ground up trolls nuts.
Oh, ew.
That's what we're gonna sell to the Chinese medicine people. Ground up troll nuts. Yes. It will make you strong.
There's a big market for that. Absolutely.
I've got a back pain. Oh, you need troll nuts. You take one every day for 3 weeks.
And then shove 3-4 more up, and it's good.
Yeah, you'll be fine. You shit like a bear on a Galactic historian patio. It's very good for you.
Very relieving, very enlightening shit.
You will have a
Soothing.
divine moment. You will touch the celestial being.
Oh, I didn't know it could be like that.
Oh, yes, I can.
Yes, the term life is better after a big poo. So can you imagine what the bear went through?
That's what I was saying. Imagine he must have walked with some hell of a step in his action.
I'm ascending. Oh.
And you know,
Right? He cleared out his colon to come say,
Yeah.
I want to dream.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, it looked like he had colic. A lot of horses and animals at that time of year, when it first starts to getting cold in the mountains, they can have a rapid onset of colic. And the bear knew if it didn't shit in the next couple hours, is going to die. May as well go die on his front porch. What did he get a big shit?
Oh, I didn't
Thank
even know
you,
that was possible.
Galactic Story. You saved me.
I bring you a gift, my friend.
You helped me get past this shit.
Here is my tribute to you.
Inspired
This is
me.
my tribute.
Yeah.
Talk about inspiration.
Yes, I've looked at that bear shit many different ways. It has inspired me to do many unique perceptions.
Oh, I'd be interesting to see your life review. So, when did you think you had a movement forward? Well, speaking of movements,
Movements.
Yes.
Let me
I
talk
want to know
one time.
about this bear shit.
so what was a moment on Earth? Well, this one time a bear shat on my patio.
Oh my God.
Tony, thank you. The poop whisperer.
Yes, the poop whisperer.
Yes, absolutely. It's a good name.
So many t-shirts. How's my poop?
Oh my God.
Endless possibility. Yes, truly.
Oh God, look at everybody's smiles. It's awesome.
Yes.
You asked
So-
about what made me laugh. Everything. It's
It's a state of
Fantastic
being,
show.
right? That's all it is. It's just a state
Yes.
of being. It's just
yes.
like we're like kids having fun playing. Like,
Amen. Yep,
not
Yep,
hard
yep,
to
yep.
do.
Yeah, it's childlike wonder, not childish, and that's sort of you can see the trolls being childish, and you know, I've been being comedic, I'll grow up, you being an idiot, and like, but I've evolved so much more than you, where you're being an adult, like,
Or a
you can't be
Karen.
funny,
Or a
Yeah,
Karen. You're being a Karen. We're not an adult.
Yeah, well,
Oh
I'm
my
attracted to a couple
gosh.
of Karens, so that's why I don't mention.
Bring your name up.
What kind of Karen are you attracted to?
Tell us more.
One that wants to talk to
We
your
can find
manager?
one for you.
Yeah. Are you inferring that I call body parts the manager, sir?
Yes.
Would you like to meet my manager?
If that takes care of her, about managing.
3 or 4 times a night. That's
Keep managing.
hey, baby, you want to come back to my house and complain?
Oh, that's so perfect.
Oh yeah,
Come back to
Karen
my
pick up
house and
line.
complain.
Yeah, Karen pick up lines.
Karen, you got some complaining to do.
How's the girlfriend? Oh, she doesn't want to complain anymore. It's not working out. I can't complain.
So, Sarah, is there anything you want to ask the Galactic comedians?
Let me see. The Galactic comedians. That's a huge spectrum.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're like, all the pressure's on you in 3D.
If it's so
Okay.
huge, pick a question.
Exactly.
Okay.
Infinite ones.
Okay, since we're all talking about poop jokes and all that kind of stuff, what are their poop jokes like? Do they even have assholes? And I mean
Most of
both
them don't.
kinds.
Most of them don't have bodies. Haven't had
Okay.
bodies for a very long time. They manifest them on will, and those aspects of the body are controlled by the different form of subconscious than we do. So they don't get emotional releases from their
process or
Do
retaining.
they get emotionally constipated?
They can, but their emotions are tied to their gut. It's not that they don't have a gut brain, but it's tuned to do a different thing because their food is structured very different than ours. Okay, our food is karmic resolution and remedy and resolve energy. So everything you eat, from every nut and berry to every fish and cow, it's in the great food chain of life that's been agreed on by all souls.
And that's where the importance of giving it just that little bit of, hey, thanks,
Right.
blessing, opportunity makes a difference. Cool.
And then the food that they propagate, they know that it is there, and they give it a very unique experience of life. Because the way the food chain works, so let's say that fish may have a limited experience in its fish skin suit, but upon its death, it will learn from a shared experience what it's like to be the fisherman who's bringing it to a factory, which is going to package it up and send it around the world to another place where somebody's going to come and buy it and bring it to a restaurant, and somebody's going to cook it, and somebody's going to eat it, and somebody's going to shit it out. So everything that you eat gets to share that part of the experience with you. The time that it's in your system and coming out of your system, it's sharing a time of light with you. And that is in a non-parasitic way.
I just wonder, can you imagine the fish going through that for the first time and then going back to its brothers and sisters? So what was it like? Well, I was taken out of the world and I went on a boat ride and then a truck ride, and then I was smished into this small can of a coffin, and then I went back onto a truck, and then I was heated up, and then someone ate me, and I don't even want to talk about that. Because at the end, the first time for everything, like, what the hell happened?
But I ended up on Andrew's deck.
Yeah, but that's exactly, and Andrew's deck. But some of those fish, that particular canned fish, went to a couple who fell in love in that first date.
Ooh,
and that was a lucky fish. Or
yes.
whatever else whatever other meal turned on an experience. So, Robert, that's my video when I'm outside. It's all black. You can barely see me.
You see the brim of your hat.
Yes, you can just see the brim of my hat.
Andrew's joined Queen, apparently. He's going to start singing. I'm just a poor boy in a poor family. So, yeah, so food actually, this is why the shamanistic tribes and First Nations, like the settlers, thought they worship animals, or they give thanks to the animals because they can survive, and there is that whole energy exchange and experience, isn't there?
Yes, exactly.
Nice, the ghostly historian. Sorry,
yes, the ghostly historian, exactly how the great food chain works.
With well, Halloween is coming up.
Yeah, darling, thanks a lot for calling in. We're going to call it an end of the show today. Monty, you're welcome. Thanks a lot for calling in. Thanks a lot for everyone that stuck it through. Monty, why don't you give them away for everyone to get a hold of you?
I am on YouTube at Wafer Thin Entertainment, on Facebook, just Monty Dean, and on Instagram, Monty.Dean, and YouTube, Twitter, at Real Monty Dean. So yeah, Monty Dean, basically. Thank you, Robert there. So trolls be gone, because if you want to troll me, I won't be nice about it. I'll have a ball, but I'll nail you to a tree energetically. So just want to get it. So thank you, everyone. I love you all from afar.
And we will be back this coming Tuesday for our next show. All right, Robert, take us away.
Each different bubble of reality is true. A galactic historian is a person that looks at all the lines of dramatic karma. Nudge, nudge, it's the Holy Grail. Improvise. Mysterious. It's counter psychic intelligence. Why is DNA farming of this star cluster so important? Because we do manifest our reality. We do create our reality.